Sam,
Oh yeah.
See all the stories regarding Wayne. What's your understanding of this situation?
My understanding of the situation is there seems to have been some negotiation somewhere along the line, but as in terms of the clarity of whether Wayne is leaving or staying, I'll find out a little more today when Wayne comes in for training later on.
Have you not spoken to Wayne up to now then? Has DC United not been in touch with the club?
I don't know anything. Well, I don't get involved in anything regarding transfers in and out or negotiations. So all I know is that there appears to be an interest from DC United. Where that is and where that lies and where Wayne lies with it, I can't tell you at the moment. So only after when I've spoken to him today will I find out where the situation actually lies.
How would you feel about that if that is true and he does want to go?
If the player wants to go, then if any player wants to leave, I'm always comfortable with any player wants to leave. Or if any player doesn't want to leave. But Wayne Rooney, let's put this right, Wayne Rooney has not asked to leave. And neither has Wayne Rooney had a confrontation with me or we've not been in any difficult situation in the time since I've been here because we're two adults and we talk.
Yeah, there's some suggestions about guarantees of playing next season. I mean,
well, nobody can guarantee playing. And how as a manager can you guarantee anybody to play? Because if they don't play well, you can't select them. If they do play well, they stay in the team, and that's a simple fact of the matter. No manager or coach can guarantee a player his place in the side. They get their opportunities, and it's up to them to put the game together on a consistent basis. And those are the ones who then play every week because they play and they keep their position in the team by what they produce.
If it does, we're probably stepping ahead a bit too far. But if he was to leave, how big an impact has he had here since you've been here, and also in the Premier League in general?
I think that my time with Wayne, both with England and here, has always been extremely interesting. Talking about his career, talking about how he evolved from a very young age to where he is now. And what he seems to appear to be so level-headed, and he's not one of those players that has ever got carried away with it. And I think that's probably why he's done so much and played so well and achieved so much. And I don't think he lets the outside world influence him. And I think that's why he stayed level-headed. So as a professional, I think he's been absolutely fantastic. And his record says that. So he's had an impact at Everton, yes, in a difficult time for the squad and the turnaround last summer. But we've all come through that, Wayne included. All the players have achieved a fantastic position in the league from where I started. And that is down to all the players, not just Wayne, getting to grips with the situation and fighting the way through it, and then ultimately producing results consistently to accumulate the points total that we've accumulated at the moment. Yes, we can all play better. Yes, we can all do more. Yes, we can all have done this or that. But at the end of the day, what they have done has been very, very good indeed. That's not just Wayne. That's the whole squad. In the time I've been here, we've overcome the problems we've had and still produce results. For instance, injuries particularly, and of course the loss of form to some players that we expected to do better. But overall, the squad has worked very hard to achieve what it's achieved.
With one game to go, have you had any more clarity, if needed, about?
I have a contract.
You feel you'll be here?
But I have a contract. I have a 1-year contract until such time somebody says to me, I no longer want to fulfil that contract, then I have a contract.
Are you able to plan for next season?
I've already done it. It's planned. It's there.
Do you think some of the disappointment from the fans, and we hear the fans at times being disappointed, do you think that borns out of a summer they had where they were sold a dream, new, money, no object, a new stadium coming, all that, top six we're going to be challenging for? What's it going to take for Everton to become a top six challenger, do you think, after what you've seen here?
That's a really tricky question for me to answer. I think that recruitment next summer is the start of the process to try and achieve that goal, which was what was tried to achieve last season. And I think that next level of recruitment will have to be quality players to get into the team and make them better than what they are at this moment in time. There's an area that we need to improve in and around the squad, and that's goals. You know, with Wayne being leading goal scorer, but you know, quite a few of those are penalties. That is the main aim. If you're going to finish higher up in the league, that's how many goals can you score, how many goals can your team score. So we still would need, I think, another goal scorer that gets 15 or more goals in the Premier League next year, because the goal tally has to be at a certain level to achieve sixth, and we're way below that level at this moment in time. And you would need at least 2 players to be in the 15 mark, not just one, and then you need the rest, your midfield players, your wide players to be in the 7s, the 8s, the 10s, and if you accumulate all those goals to where you need to finish goal-wise to finish on the top 6, then that's the challenge. So you have to address that one first. Across the board would probably a midfield player for me, and then another defender. And if there were 3 high-quality players, I think that would be enough to make Everton challenge higher up next season.
And just finally from me, Sunday, a few weeks ago, it might have been a whole different story for West Ham, mightn't it, the last day of the season? I guess you're going there a little bit easier, not with the possibility of relegating a good friend of yours.
Absolutely, and a club that I put back into the Premier League and had a very good 4 years there, or 4 seasons, should I say? Like, I mean, I think that it's had its difficulties this year, and as always, David has dropped in and turned around a very difficult situation. So they're safe. What happens with David? He seems to be. He will find out and next week. So because his contract finishes, I believe. So what we want to do is we want to go and win. We want to try and win, because if we win, we've got 52 points. You know, 52 points is no mean achievement from where we started from.
Sam, bearing in mind how good Wayne has been for you, if he tells you today he wants to leave, is there not a part of you that will be tempted to try and persuade him to stay?
I've answered them questions on Wayne Rooney, so I'm not answering anymore.
And in
terms, just, you know, it's not about Wayne Rooney, it's about West Ham on Sunday. It's about 11 players going out at West Ham and trying to win West Ham. I've answered 5-6 questions on Wayne, and you've just asked a question in a different way, so I've answered all the questions I'm going to answer on Wayne Rooney. Can't say any more about Wayne than I've said, so, you know, I can't be tricked into saying something different to what I've already answered.
No trick intended at all, Sam.
No, I know. I don't wish there was, but you know what it's like. Sat in my position.
I'm trying to get a measure. You said that if he wants to go, he can go. But
if any player wants to go, I said, if any player wants to go, they can leave. If any player wants to go, if any.
But Wayne's a special player, isn't he?
Well, yes, Wayne's a special player, but if any player wants to go, they can leave. So the headline is not, Sam says Wayne Rooney can leave if he wants to. So it's any player wants to leave, they can go. So I don't want to create the headline, Sam says Wayne can leave if he wants to go. It's any player can leave if they want to leave, in my opinion. Whether they can or they can't is another matter.
Sam, sorry to continue the theme, but you said you believe that some negotiation taken place. You've been in this game a long time. Does it surprise you that these things come out like this and these things happen?
No, it's not my responsibility anymore as a manager to be at that level of negotiation. The game has changed massively in the last few years. Those areas of negotiation are taken out of managers' hands now. They're not the manager in that sense as the old days were, where the manager would be involved in every negotiation, every transfer. That's not the case anymore.
Just one last one. Manager of the season. We're asking all the managers who they put forward?
In the Premier
yours?
League?
Yeah.
Pep, for me, obviously. I think that if he gets 100 points and how far they've won the Premier League by and how consistent they've been and what they've achieved has been absolutely fantastic. And I think that the hard bit is you always worry a bit when you play against them. That's how good they are, because no matter what you seem to put up against them, it's very difficult to get a result against them. So lots of teams in the Premier League who win the Premier League, can be stumped tactically by the opposition manager on occasions. That's been massively difficult for any of us.